I believe that the rural areas of the province are the backbone of the province.
I think really the important part is looking at the long-term strategies or where we're going with this, because if we don't start looking at it, there's going to be communities that will be failing.
The Rural BC project is Help for Rural BC. It is the way to make rural BC healthy.
The Rural BC project is a collective group of people, namely the 3 Beetle Action Coalitions. We've come together to try and convince the government that rural BC is struggling and has been struggling for a long period of time, and we need some commitment from government to assist us in making our communities prosper once again.
The Rural BC strategy to the First Nations is, first of all, we're at the table. There is not really any table like this that we're directly represented. Rural BC is about working together to be able to sustain communities and be able to develop better linkages together and for a healthy, sustainable community overall.
In order to make that strategy work for very small communities, some of those important components are putting a rural lens on decision making. It's huge for communities to have the say in what goes on there. We know from local government, if we include our communities in decision making, they buy in. So, you put that rural lens on. You talk about a pot of some kind of funding for communities so that they really are captain of their own ship, so that they get to make the decisions. You look at things like value added. Value added creates jobs. And there are another couple of reasons why young people can stay in communities. So overall, it's the rural strategy that's going to help do that.
Some of the examples of changes we can make is working with the Aboriginal workforce to train our young people in those different shortages in trades and also in nursing and through education. There's also some real positives that we can change by sitting down with local governments and talking together about what is Rural BC strategy. We can also make a difference by having ministers in the legislature taking Rural BC seriously and talking with the members in our communities about what that means. We need real strong leadership on Rural BC initiatives, and we really need to work together on that. That's the biggest change that this will make.
We do recognize that there's resources that continue to go from the rural areas of the province and not much is coming back to the rural areas. We continue to see our young people leave to try and find work other places. With the loss of people from our communities, what we find is that we're losing services. We're losing healthcare services, we're losing education services. There's been lots of school closures and there's been hospital closures. And we've had provincial agencies close their offices, and now they're gone as well. So what we're hoping for is that the province would support this project by recognizing the seriousness of the project, and then by dedicating a minister to look specifically after rural British Columbia.
Rural BC, as most of us know that live here, it is backsliding. It's not going forward. It's not healthy. We need a plan for rural BC. We need a way for rural BC to get back to being healthy. And if we all ask the same questions, we will end up with a rural BC strategy.